I was thinking about how unique the story of Marcus Aurelius really is. Throughout history and in our lives today, we see so many people with potential, but something always stops that potential from coming to fruition. Malcolm X had mass appeal and many interesting ideas, especially towards the end of his life. But he was gunned down in the Audubon Ballroom right when he was turning in a new direction that would have changed the civil rights movement. Speaking of X's, XXXTentacion had unlimited potential musically. He had a rough start to his life. He did some horrible things, but he was a source of comfort for millions of kids in the upcoming generation. He had started turning the corner and begun his redemption arc when he was murdered in cold blood at just 20 years old. What would the world look like if Malcolm X hadn't been killed just as he was putting together a new philosophy? We can't say. What would music look like if XXXTentacion was able to continue making music and evolving? It's a shame that we don't know. Marcus Aurelius was a rare event in history where we got to see all that potential realized. And if you study history, you hear so much about the prophesied philosopher king that should come and rule justly. It'll come any day now, but it never really comes to fruition. Alexander the Great was mentored by Aristotle and made efforts to be seen as a philosopher king, but it was all just optics. Cato the Younger was running for consul of the Roman Republic and would have been the completion of the prophecy had he done it. But instead he decided that campaigning was below him, put in zero effort, and came in last place, dooming the Roman Republic to the collapse it experienced. But then came Marcus Aurelius. In a world where everyone is constantly vying for power, he was hesitant to become emperor when it was his time. He wanted to continue his life practicing philosophy, but duty called, and he took the purple, fulfilled the prophecy, and left the world a lasting spiritual work in his meditations. We hear about how absolute power corrupts absolutely, but we got to see Marcus Aurelius receive absolute power and conduct himself with dignity. He left his empire prosperous, and he was loved by his people. We got to see that a nation-state is better with a philosopher king at the head of it. It's quite sad that we never got to see what changes a 50-year-old Malcolm X would bring to the civil rights struggle, or what a 24-year-old XXXTentacion's hairstyle would be. But at least at one point in history, we got a chance to see what the potential of a great man could be if it was realized.